are these people?
I didn't talk really about LA and about the worldwide protests and the escalation that happened in LA last week. But I wanted to bring a video from Popular Information that's a couple of minutes long that described what are the motivations for the Trump administration and why, one reason why this might have happened. So I'm going to bring this video. I'm going to hit this here. Let's do that. Lightning round. Lightning round. Okay. Let's hit it.
After years of fantasizing about using the military against protesters in the U.S., Trump made it happen. On Saturday, Trump ordered 2,000 National Guard members to Los Angeles, without approval from the governor, without support from the mayor, over a protest at a Home Depot. By the time Trump gave the order, the protest was about a few dozen people, and peaceful according to the LAPD. No riots, no mobs. The LAPD literally thanked organizers for cooperating. So what exactly did Trump think he was doing? Well, apparently, he believes that a few peaceful protesters were a rebellion against the authority of the United States. That's what the order says. This isn't new. Trump begged to use the military during the George Floyd protests, told governors to dominate the streets. And behind closed doors, he literally asked the defense secretary to shoot the protesters in the legs or something. Quote, the top general at the time literally screamed at him in the White House. Fast forward to 2023, Trump starts openly promising that next time he will not have to ask for permission. In his words, quote, we don't have to wait any longer. And now he's followed through. He deployed the National Guard under a sketchy legal theory not meant for crowd control, just to protect federal property. But we all know what this was. Even local law enforcement said they had it under control. One arrest, a few minor injuries, and a little property damage. Which sucks, but nowhere near a crisis that justifies military boots on civilian streets. Trump declared a great job done by the National Guard before they had even arrived. He posted that while watching 3 hours of UFC in New Jersey. So either Trump is confused, lying, or trying to provoke a confrontation. Let us know what you think in the comments. This is Popular Information. Read the full report on popular.info and follow along for more accountability journalism. After years...
That's real. That really happened. That's a real thing. Wanted to escalate, wanted to use the military, brought the military in, just to show he could do it on something that had not required or justified military intervention. And you're not supposed to bring boots on, soldiers on American soil. I thought there was some kind of a law against that, right?
How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard?
Number two, now this one hit me, and again, I have not heard anybody talking about this. Shout out to Michelle DeCryptodamus, who we've covered some of their articles before. The Justice Department, again, this is the Trump Justice Department, dropped an indictment alleging $500 million worth of Russian money flowed into the United States via Tether. It's always Tether.
Let me call the Russians to help.
All right. This guy, Gungnin, is the founder, president, treasurer, and compliance officer of U.S.-based Avita Investments, Inc. and Avita Pay. All right. Gungnin used both companies to enable foreign customers, many of whom held funds at sanctioned Russian banks, to provide him with crypto, which he then laundered through crypto wallets and U.S. bank accounts. Again,
your crypto and everything else that you're playing with.
This is the Trump administration prosecuting Russians for laundering money using Tether, which is owned and run by our Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick.
Have a good time with your Bitcoin.
It's unreal. And then reminding people, he wrote an article back in September about how much Trump's transition team and now his Secretary of Commerce is tethered to thievery and worse, and all of the illegal activity that has been rumored and caught using Tether to launder money. So another Substack article I thought was really interesting. And I brought
Coming
this
to
guy.
Substack newsletter near you.
That's right. I brought this guy a couple of times recently. I consider him to be the mayor of Substack, Ted Gioia, who is the honest broker. He wrote an article about how the streaming services and other organizations are now basically trying to annoy you into paying them. All right. And an ugly new marketing service, ugly new marketing strategy is driving me nuts and you too. And that's its purpose. They're basically showing so
English,
many.
motherfucker, do you speak it?
Occasionally. Okay. That they're all right. That always be closing. Of course, we've got the famous Glenn Ross quote. All right. But
A always B
C closing.
C
That's
closing.
right. All right. So he said, in recent days, a new marketing strategy's emerged. I've never seen it before, and I wish it would go away. You probably do too. Here's the new marketing playbook of 2025. Don't try to close. Don't try to sell. Don't try to persuade. Don't even listen. The goal now is merely to annoy, and the big companies are doing it on purpose. He's talking about sticking ads in everything. All right. Big streaming platforms are the experts at this new marketing tool. They want you to pay for a premium ad-free subscription. The more annoying the commercials, the more likely you are to pay. You'll pay just to get rid of the ad. How many people here have Rumble Premium or Disney Plus without ads or Netflix without the ads? And then there's different tiers. And this is what the article talks about, is basically you're paying a jack, all right, to keep those ads off of your stuff because nobody wants the ads. Very interesting article. So check that one out. That'll be again in the description.
Capitalism.
I also wrote an article this week. I published something about Rokfin. I don't write all that much, but I have been motivated to write some stuff lately. One of them, I got pretty upset because I found out about 2 weeks ago that now when creators go live on Rokfin, they no longer have the option to make the stream live to all, free to all. But now it's only available to premium subscribers of Rokfin who pay $15 per month, either to a channel of their own or on anyone on the platform. All right. So this is another rug pull that they've now done to creators that told them that they would be able to go live and publish and do it. And it's their discretion what they wanted a paywall. All right. So I wrote this article about that, but that was only part of it. All right. Steve from Slow News Day and AM Wakeup has not been streaming to Rokfin and has lost a lot of his revenue because of it, because he was making money with Rokfin monthly until they decided to rug pull. They rug pulled on their token. They started paying out and not providing monthly statements. What's interesting is that Mint Press News can still upload content without paywalling it. And I think it's because they're uploading and not live streaming. And maybe that because they haven't live streamed, that Rokfin hasn't gotten to them yet. But a lot of people haven't abandoned Rokfin yet. And that's also a surprise, considering how shitty that they've treated the creators and how they've been making the service worth less and less by making it available to fewer and fewer people. And yet they persist. And I'll call them out. Jimmy Dore, The Duran, Grand Theft World, Garland Nixon, Macroaggressions with Charlie Robinson, Revolutionary Blackout Network, and Savvy Sabs, Truthwire, and that's my brother Pasta and Fee, Jason Burmis and Sam Tripoli and Grimerica. They're all still using Rokfin. Tinfoil Hat Podcast. Why? I'm not sure what kind of viewer or tip activity they're still getting. I guarantee you it's not their primary source of revenue. So for the extra couple of bucks, you're giving them all your content for free and letting them paywall it for you? Fuck, man. So Maryam Henein, who is the bee lady, you may or may not know, she's got a channel on all the different platforms, including Substack. She also had her channel zeroed out of followers from Rokfin. She had her ability to log in and get her subscriber list and to manage her content and even take it down if she so chose. That was all removed. So on June 9th, she posted to Twitter that she had hired a lawyer to send a letter to Rokfin demanding payment. They claim they paid Ray tokens to a crypto wallet. Of course, we know Ray is worthless at this point because they sunset the token 4 months ago. So even if the Ray was sitting in there, she couldn't cash it out or exchange it for anything. She claims she never gave them the access to that wallet, and they were fraudulently delivering Ray to a wallet that they knew she did not have access to. I don't know. Either way, it's shady and it's negligence. All right. And it's only about $1,000, which will end up in small claims court, if that, which my guess. Unless other Rokfin creators decide to join in this lawsuit, potentially that might be filed as a class action. All of the creators that had damages could potentially pool their resources together and institute a class action lawsuit against Rokfin. And if they decide to, I will be happy to join that and to provide any material support necessary. All right, and these are all the articles that I've written in the past exposing just what Rokfin has done going back to last September. Fuck Rokfin. Rug pulling, scamming pieces of shit. All right.
Receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots, everything.
Now this is my tweet of the week. I had a little fun with this one because Johnny Graz, shout out to Johnny Graz. A lot of people like him and know him. All right. He said, He says, looks like the script went out this morning from the ICE protests the other day because literally Wall Street apes, elite MAGA, Griswold Jenna,
Okay.
and Ann Jones all literally copy pasted pretty much the exact same tweet. So they all got the script. Okay. Looks exactly in caps and just switch the signs. All these signs, switch the signs. Huh. Almost like it's coordinated. So I said, you've got to coordinate. Mushroom shirt and the mushroom belt and the mushroom jacket. And come on, he's got the mushroom socks too. And then he made a little. And then he took the material and he made a little thing for the pocket, right? And I had another one. This was again. So I joined AM Wakeup. Where's the other tweet? Oh, I guess it's not there. Hang on. Let me go get the other tweet that I wanted to highlight from this week's tweet of the week. Where is it? This one. All right. This just happened, and I did want to call attention to it. Luigi Mangione, the psyop known as Luigi. This just in. Luigi's next court appearance has now been postponed from June 26th to September 16th. Spread the word, everyone.
It's a psyop.
My quote is, I guess it looks like they have enough psyops booked for the summer already. Push this one to the fall. They need more time to manufacture narrative and let more people forget that this entire case is flawed and that this guy never shot anyone. This was a corporate crime through and through. They hired a hitman. And we talked about who potentially did it. Allegedly and potentially, the Carlyle Group had certainly the motivation to want to whack out Brian Thompson. Allegedly. Now, again, was on a show. I was on AM Wakeup earlier this week. On Friday, I joined after the independent review was over on Friday. That's actually at IndyMediaToday.com. I put that out. All the appearances that I do on other shows that I clip out or link, I put there. I also, again, did the one-on-one with Matt Weinglass. That's at INNNewsletter.com. You can watch that ad-free over there at INNNewsletter.com. Wanted to now also shout out our friends that are struggling financially and fighting cancer that and other issues now. So Chanda, Masta from Beauty and the Boomer, one half of Beauty and the Boomer, where she still needs to cover some money for her bills. So if anybody is able to, we'd love for you to be able to send Chanda a couple of bucks. We also
It's
had
not a tumor.
an update
at all.
from Andrew Zygmunt Smith over at Action for Assange, formerly. His daughter AnnaMari actually was leaving Cincinnati after 6 weeks of treatment and therapy, and they were headed home to start to resume life. Again, thank you to everybody who has contributed. They've raised over $6,500. They raised the goal to $7,500 last week. They certainly could use some help. Then we've also got our friend Oz the Boomer. Oz also needs some help. So if anybody is able to, ko-fi.com/Oz the Boomer. You can go there, drop him a Ko-fi, $5, $10, $20. Certainly could use the help. And then this week, I unfortunately had to add another one. And luckily, nothing health-wise is happening here negatively to Amber. Not to Amber, to Halo Benson's daughter, Aspen, not Amber. Aspen got into a crazy situation, and if you read Halo's message, it's kind of long as to what happened, but she's looking at potentially being indicted on charges that carry a mandatory minimum of 33 years. So she needs to be found not guilty, innocent on charges. She had plans to attend a music festival in Florida with her best friend and his two friends. With her bestie and his girlfriend, they pulled out at the last minute. Aspen went with their friend David, who was described as a safe person by her trusted friend. Aspen's a high-functioning autist. All right. We rely on trusted friends quite often now that Aspen's an adult. She lacks the discernment that most people take for granted. She only sees what's presented. So she went to the festival. On the way back, the RV was pulled over. The guy she's traveling with had a lot of drugs in his RV. She didn't know it. It's customary in Peach County, Georgia, to arrest anyone else in a vehicle with the same charges as the person suspected of a crime. David, the owner of the RV, told the cops at the time of their arrest and judge at the initial hearing that she wasn't part of it, nor privy to his operation, but of course they didn't believe that. All right. This guy, David, was apparently also part of the Free Assange movement. It's kind of messed up. Prior to securing bail, she spent 15 days in jail. To say that they're ill-equipped to provide for someone with special needs is a gross understatement. They lack both the knowledge and the will to meet her needs, both mentally and physically. Like many autistics, Aspen has chronic health problems that require constant management. They didn't give a fuck. It'll likely take her months to recover from what's already happened. The idea of being labeled a criminal and the threat of decades in prison has traumatized her, as I think at most. Fighting these charges will cost a small fortune that they don't have. They already borrowed everything that they could to secure a lawyer for the bail hearing and pay the bail. They now need to pay for the lawyer moving forward, some specialists, an investigator, travel expenses, $30,000. Anything anybody can do. Well, got a long way to go. So anything anyone can do, really, please help Halo, help Aspen. Please do. Again, we created a news site so that you can, where do we go to find independent news that's ad-free, that has been vetted, that has trusted sources, that they're all one-stop shop. Well, we didn't really find one out there. So we made one, and it's called IndieNewsNow.com. INDIENewsNow.com. Go ahead.
Not Spatula City.
No, it's not Spatula City. All right. It even works in multiple languages. So if you speak another language besides English, it will convert this web page into whatever language you speak. Although it only links to the articles, it doesn't actually switch the articles to that language, unfortunately. Again, this is where we would
read, my son?
Keep the news free. This is where you can hook up INN with a link. Also at the old shop, which is embedded here, or at our new shop, which I'm still working on getting links for. I tweeted it out. But here are the INN shirts that you can get. And again, there's me, me with the red tie. I told them I wanted a green tie one also. I sent them the graphic for that. We Deserve Better PsyOps, and all the different shirts that you know and love are here over at the Indie News shop. So check that out. And one more time, again, I know we asked to hook up a bunch of people with some GoFundMes, but we also could use a couple of coins to help fund the news that you want to see. So if you're able to, and it means, these are the supporters on our wall of fame. Thank you again so much to everyone that's been on that wall already. You can do that by joining it, by supporting Cash App, $, Indie News Network, ko-fi.com/Indie News Network, paypal.me/Indie News Network, at IndieNewsNow.com, which I just showed you, and then over at the Substacks at INNNewsletter.com and at IndieMediaToday.com, where this show has been live for the last 2 hours or so, hour 45. I love you all. Keep independent media free and support independent media because we need it more than ever, fam. Thanks.
Bye-bye! Bye-bye, Israel!
Mwah. Ciao, baby.
No! We just fucking lost the stream!
I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days, and I still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to say. And when they told you everything was safe, were you safe?